Hey everybody, and welcome to my shop. This is the second video from my shop in LA. Last week I built this backdrop tool wall storage thing, and you can see over the weekend I spent a little bit of time filling it in. And this week, before we can do anything else, we have to work on electricity. My shop still doesn't have electricity, but lucky for me, my friend Randy is going to help me with that. I started by installing a strip of wood all around my shop, just because this will make further installations a lot easier. The good news is that the shop has a line of electricity running up to it, it just doesn't have electricity inside. So Randy was there to figure it all out. I just told him what I wanted and he told me what I needed to do to support him. And I mainly just did the installing of the boxes and changing my mind 1,000 times of where I want what switch and what outlet. We ended up installing a bunch of 110 and also a bunch of 220 outlets, which is really nice. And then once everything was planned, it was time to pull the cables through and hook it all up. Now that the electricity is done, it is time to tackle the big project of the week, and that is the air conditioning. I have essentially a metal box in the middle of the desert, so air conditioning is absolutely important. And right now it's not even summer, so it will get hotter and hotter and hotter. It's time to do this now. Sometime in the future I will also work on the insulation, because air conditioning and insulation together makes a lot of sense. But for now, let's start with the AC. The nice people at Mr. Cool sent me this high-efficiency DIY ductless mini split, and the first thing I did is pretty unusual for me. I actually read the manual. My favorite thing about this system is that it is designed for easy setup. That means you really don't have to know anything about air conditioning to do this yourself. Just read the manual, and you also don't need a bunch of fancy tools. I think the fanciest thing I used for the setup was this hole saw. Since my shop is under 1,500 square feet, I have a single zone setup, but if your shop is bigger, you can actually hook up to 5 systems and have a multi-zone setup. Oh, and this system can do both cooling and heating, even though I'm pretty sure I'll use cooling a bunch more. The air part is hanging. Now it's time to think about the part that's going to the outside of the shop. And there are some things you need to consider. All of the dimensions and all the things you need to think about are in the manual. I think in my case, I want to have it on the shady side of the shop, which is this back wall. So the cables will go around the corner. And I want to fabricate some brackets that hold up the unit off of the ground. That is the next step. Finally, some metal work. That is the baby that goes to the outside of the shop. Let's take a look. This is where the cables are coming out. And we are taking this around the corner. You see, this is where it is now 2 p.m. The sun is burning. So this is where we have the most shade. I think this is a pretty perfect spot for it. I don't expect a lot of rain exposure here, but if I get problems with that, I might add a little roof. But for now, I think this is a perfect spot. Okay. Moment of truth. Should I just jump on it? Okay. See how much trust I have in my work? Yeah, this is not going anywhere. This is great. So this whole construction, it doesn't have legs, so you can put stuff under it, and it gets the whole unit the minimum of 12 inches away from the next wall, and all the space around it allows for great airflow. Should be perfect. Let's see. Let's do it. Oh my God. Here we go. Looks good. Looks great. Yeah. Yeah. Now it is finally time to hook it all up, and that is a super quick project because these lines are pre-charged and have a quick connect system. So essentially you just screw them together, and that's it. This was a cool moment. You open these 2 little valves and you hear a little and that means the system is kind of up and running. What I did is to make sure that there are no leaks, I put some soapy water on it and watched out for bubbles, but nothing bubbled, so it seemed fine. And then pretty much the last step is the electro installation. Here you see me read a manual again because I'm always terrified to mess electricity stuff up. But also that was super well described and marked and was a very easy installation. And now the very, very last step is to cover everything up, make it look nice, and then it's time to go inside. The installation is done. Remote control is ready. Now, moment of truth. Did I mess it up? Whew, I hope not. It is getting so hot in this shop, so let's zoom in for the dramatic effect. So let's see if this actually works. Beep! Oh, yes. Oh, can you hear this? That's it. That's wind. Cold air. Woo! Oh, it's so good. All right, now that we have the heat under control, it is time to move over to the, I want to say, 30% dangerous part of today, and that is trying to lift a 500-pound saw by myself. I got some stuff though. I got a chain hoist, and I will connect the chain hoist to this roof structure for the support beam here, and then joist the table saw up, get all the pallets out, put the table saw down, and then just try to scooch it over to the place where I need it to be. I think that's the best way to do it. Let's give it a try. I think this is just, I don't even think I need it. It's just a little bit of support. Okay. Yeah, it's lifting. Why is this so tilted? Okay, my concern is that the saw will kick over this beam. Then again, no, we're up. That's it. It's officially in the air. This hoist is so cool. All looks good. Incredible. I will use the shit out of this. That's amazing. Whoa. See, it wasn't pretty good. Well, here we go. It takes every little bit of willpower in me not to go ahead and assemble the table saw. I will not do that because I want to make the shop the best it could possibly be. And one thing that always bothered me was tripping over the table saw cord. So what I'm gonna do next week is cut a groove into the concrete and bury that cable there so I don't trip over it. And for this week, I'm now enjoying my electricity 110 and 220, my air conditioning, and my brand new table saw off of its pallets. I think I got a lot done this week. I could not be happier. This shop is going to be so good. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed using that hoist for the first time. And I'll see you next week with a new video.